finally, here's a way to play Amazing Grace in a gospel style. Gospel style involves changing the bass a lot, walking it up either on beat 3 or 4. So I'm going to play this more in pulses of 4 rather than the traditional 3 counts, just because I feel like it. So we're going to start with a C chord in the right hand, the C bass note in the left hand. And here we go. Amaze, 2, 3. Walk the bass up to the middle of the chord. And we did that on 4 and. So let's do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Beat 4, we're going to play that bass note again. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3. So what I did there was I went from the C chord to the F chord and back as a little riff. And in order to do that quickly, 4 and 1, I'm going to play the F chord with the C note on the bottom instead of on the top. So I don't have to jump up to doing it in root position. I can play any chord in root position or with notes in a different order. As long as it includes the 3 notes, it's still the chord. So again, starting from the top, on the C chord with a C bass note. 1, 2, 3, C and middle of the chord, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3. And that was going C, F, C, keeping the C bass note the whole time. Still the C chord. That's save, 2, 3. Walk the bass up, so 2, 3. Here comes the tricky part. On 4 and, I'm going to walk the bass up to G. 4 and instead of going to the G chord, I'm going to go to the F chord. Then to the G chord. So let's review that. That's save, 2, 3, 4, and bass note goes to the middle of the chord. Then on beat 4, it's going to walk up to G, but instead of going straight to the G chord, I'm going to go to the F chord first with a G bass, like me, and then finally to G. So that F chord with a G bass gives you the tension of a 4 chord, the F chord, with this moving back home feeling that the 5 chords bass note gives you. It's also called an 11 chord. It's used a lot in Broadway music and gospel music. Okay, one more time on that line. That's save, 2, 3, 4, and there goes the bass. 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Then we're going to play a transition chord called G sharp diminished, which sounds all scary, but what it means is you go from this G chord, leave everything the same except the G note goes up a half a step to G sharp. And that leads you to the next chord, which is going to be A minor. Once. And this is something James Taylor uses a lot in his chord stylings. So a quick review of that again. That's save, 2, 3, sol, 2, 3. Walk the bass to G, but keep the chord on F and G. 2, G sharp diminished, A minor, I once was C. And if you want, you can do that quick F to C. Lost but now. And here's another place where you could go from the F chord to the chord that's 4 notes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is a B flat chord. And if you leave the F note of that on the bottom, it's the same as when you played the C chord going to F and leaving the common note between those chords on the bottom. So on that 3rd line, I once was lost, but now. So that's F, B flat, F, but I'm keeping the F bass the whole time. M, back to C, and so on beat 4, I played the F bass note again. M found, C, F, C. Now I'm going to walk the bass down twice on beat 4, then to A minor, blind, and I'm I'm going to do the same thing where I raise the top 2 notes of the A minor chord to the 4 chord up from there, which is D minor, back to A minor. So just like we did C, F, C, and we did F, B flat, F, each one going to the chord or 4th up. When we go to the A minor doing that, A minor, D minor, A minor, they all have that lifting the top 2 notes in common. So let's go one more time. 2 was found, and found, walk down to A minor, but I can walk the bass down again on beat 4 or the end of 4, but F chord, then F chord with a G bass note, I, but now I'm going to go to the Amen chord, which is the 4 chord in this key, F, C, and I'm saying the word C, not the chord C. Now I C with the F chord. I'm going to walk the chords down to C with an E bass, walk down the chord to a D minor, and with a D bass, and then back to C. So with those ideas, you can play that more in a ballad gospel style, or you can make it all fancy. What I did was play it pretty much in the way I just showed you, adding mostly octaves in the bass, moving the bass notes on beat 4, and adding those 1-4-1 riffs wherever I could. So there you go. Give that a try. Have fun.